Indestructible Gaming. Choose your character. Musketshot. Mr. K. Let the review begin.
Hello and welcome to Indestructible Gaming and more. I am Musketshot. Alongside me is my co-host, Mr. K. Mr. K, hello.
Welcome back, everyone. It's been a wonderful day today.
Yeah, we're still dealing with a heat wave where we are in the Northeast, but we're surviving. We're making it through along with everybody else. So
my AC is always on.
Right. I think everybody's is right now. So anyways, this week we're talking about a game that is being developed by a company called Pandcorps. Well, I don't know if it's a company, but it's a small developer, and they're on Twitter and following us on Twitter, and vice versa, we're following them. And this week we're talking about and are talking about a game called Fur Guardians, and it's a game that's on the Google Play, it's on Amazon, and on itch.io, which we played it on itch.io. They also have another game that's on only on Google Play that I know of right now called Bots and Bolts, which looks pretty interesting. I haven't tried that one yet. I'll have to maybe try that out on a tablet or something to see if I can get that to download and play, but looks pretty interesting too. But so this week we did Fur Guardians, which is it's a platformer, which I'm usually a little bit nervous with platformers because they tend to either be really hard or somewhat hard or just mind-numbingly tough. But this one isn't too bad. So do you want to kind of give a little quick synopsis of this game?
Well, basically you get to choose an animal and change their colors and basically go into a world map, go through levels, collect the items, and eventually go into a world where you save a kingdom from an evil mirror that's dispensing, evil monsters. Pretty straightforward plot with pretty straightforward gameplay and platforming. Very good for beginners.
Yeah, and it's very it's a retro style gameplay with retro graphics, 16-bit style graphics, the music, 16-bit style music, sound effects, that type of stuff. The characters, there's I think 6. I'm drawing a blank now on it.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of
different kinds of animals you can choose from.
And then you can change the colors of them.
2 of them being unlockable.
Yeah, and then there's different items that you can buy for the characters that help them in the game. You collect different gems and stuff like that throughout the game.
Yeah, and these gems can be like just spread around. You can hit them through blocks. You can kill enemies to grab them. You can do little mini games to grab them too, which can be pretty fun. Some of them, they actually spell out like a word like gems with 3 exclamation marks or different other various words. Yeah.
Like I've seen yay and all kinds of different things. And you start off in a world and you kind of go, once you finish a level, your character moves to the next like dot. Kind of similar to what you probably saw on Mario World when you played that. You kind of advance to the next little level and next level and stuff like that. It's kind of similar to that. Reminded me a little bit of that. You can jump up and hit some of the blocks and they'll send out like the diamond or the gem or something like that you want to collect and stuff. So it's pretty neat. For a platform game, like I said, I was a little hesitant about these platform games, but this one is I found it to be pretty easy to play.
Yeah.
The controls are pretty good.
Just because it's easy to play doesn't mean it's not fun to play.
No, right. Yeah, and it's a fun game. The enemies can be a little tricky at times, but for the most part, you can kind of figure out how to defeat them. Sometimes it might be a matter of just waiting for them to make a certain move or to do
a certain power up, maybe.
Yeah.
And when you die, you don't you don't like. It's kind of like Sonic, how it works with the rings. You collect the gems as you go along, and if you get hit, you lose the gems. But if you get hit while you have 0 gems, you die, and you just go back to the map and do it again. There's no lives. You don't have to start the world over like Mario or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's
a good thing.
Yeah, that's one of the things I really liked about the game was because it was. It kind of surprised me at first because I was like, oh, maybe I have this on a don't die.
Yeah, and even if you do die, even if you do die and you go back to the world, it's not a big deal because these levels are pretty short.
Yeah, they are. They're short levels, so it actually feels like you're, playing a lot when you sit down and play this game. You get through like a whole world, and you're like, wow, it's like I did all that. But I mean, you feel like you've accomplished something. Where some games where you go through a whole level and it's like, okay, that took me an hour to get through that. It's like, geez. So the worlds are a little bit different. Each world's a little bit different, but the gameplay is pretty much the same throughout.
Yeah.
The music can be a little repetitive at times, but it's not.
You can always mute it.
You can mute it. But that's fine. I mean, a lot of 16-bit games, their music was always very repetitive back then, so not a big deal. But it's a fun game. Like you can change all the different colors. You can have different colors of your character too.
You can have different colors. You can have different outfits. You can have different headwear.
Right. You can have like hats on them or T-shirts.
The power ups.
Yeah.
And then there's there's apparently like a pet bird or something like that, which I haven't gotten yet, but
no,
I'm very curious to see what it looks like. Yeah. It just shows up as an egg, so you don't see it.
Right.
Another thing about this game that I'm happy about was when I first started playing, I thought it was slowly paced, like in terms of platforming. I thought it was slow.
Mm-hmm.
But I was happy to see when I went into the settings menu, I saw that it does have a speed up option. You can make the game increase its speed.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So I put it on the max, and honestly, with the short levels and how fast, it doesn't go too fast, but with how the levels work, and if you put the speed up, it's pretty fun.
Yeah. You like it a little bit more challenging like that.
I mean, it's not challenging. It was just more fun just to zoom through levels.
Yeah. Okay.
Rather than just taking it slow.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of kept going to the next level, because it's randomly generated. Each level is randomly generated. Mm-hmm. So it was fun just to zoom through all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I got through a few of the worlds, and what I played was just, like I said, it was fun. That I wasn't swearing at the screen or anything like that. Your character moves pretty easily with the controls.
The controls are pretty straightforward. Left, right, press the button to jump. And then these have I played it on mobile.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you how mobile works with their controls. It's pretty much how you would expect it to be. Left to right on the bottom of the screen, and there's a button to the right of your corner. And with most games, they usually don't put like an input animation, so it doesn't really feel like you're playing the game. But with this one, it does, and I really appreciate that. Because when I press the button, I don't feel like I'm pressing the button, so it's like it's not that fun.
Yeah.
It's a little thing, nothing too big, but I still appreciate the extra mile. Yeah,
and I played it on my PC, and again, I thought it played well. So I've enjoyed playing it, and again, the game is free on itch.io. So if you are interested in trying it,
free on itch and on mobile.
Yeah, so definitely
try it out.
Something to try it out. The worlds are pretty big. I mean, there's quite a few different levels to go through, so it's not like you'll get through a world in like 5 minutes. So it's definitely worth your time playing it. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a good game. Like I said, lots of different characters to choose from, and colors and clothing options and that type of stuff. So, and I'm sure that's probably at some point maybe more to come for this game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'd like to see some more stuff being added. There's not much to this game, but as is, though, it's pretty fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah. absolutely. And I guess, yeah, and the big thing for me too is you don't really lose lives and all that stuff. So it's kind of, I think that's pretty cool, and makes it a little bit more enjoyable.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So anything else for this? Anything else you want to discuss on this game?
Not really, but I will say though, for my final verdict, I think, as you said, this person's made Bots and Bolts before.
Yeah.
And Bots and Bolts is kind of like Mega Man in a way.
Mm-hmm. Have you played that yet?
I played a little bit of it.
Oh, you played a little bit. Oh, okay.
And I'm not going to say much about it other than it's kind of like Mega Man.
Yeah, okay.
We may review this some other day. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Always a possibility. But
yeah,
as that's close to Mega Man, this is close to Mario. But at least this person tries to make it different.
Mm-hmm.
This person tries to not make it the exact same. Because I've seen other games that try to implement things from other games, but they pretty much steal it.
Yeah.
At least this person is trying to make it their own IP, and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
You can obviously tell where this person's taking it from. No doubt about it. But that doesn't mean they're stealing it outright.
No, right. They're definitely inspired by Mario.
That's how ideas are made, building off another's idea.
Absolutely. I mean, there's thousands of games that are.
I hope this person works more on more titles in the future, and I'm really curious to see what's going to come up next.
Yeah. Absolutely.
My final rating for this would be a 3.5 out of 5. Okay,
cool. Yeah, I would for my rating, I would probably give this a 4 out of 5. Because platformers are not my game usually, but this one has been really enjoyable to play as a platformer, and I enjoy the characters and the gameplay. So definitely a surprise for me. So I think if you're not a big platformer, you should try this game out, download it, try it out, because I would say it's a very good platformer for beginners. Yeah. I think there are definitely a lot more harder indie platformers out there. Yeah. You definitely play this. If you play this game, you'll definitely feel at least like, hey, all right. It'll ease you in. This one I can, get to and actually make a dent in. Some of them are just too tough that you can't even make a dent in them. So, all right, cool. So, sorry, that's a kind of a quick overview of the game, but what do we got coming up next week? Next week, we have a game called VVVVVVV. I can't tell you exactly how many V's are there. Yeah, I think it's just a long line of V's. 7 of them. Yeah. And basically, that's a game where if you jump, your character, called the Viridian guy, or Viridian, basically jumps and then goes into anti-gravity mode a little bit and just floats on upwards, and you have to use that to an advantage and puzzle your way through stuff. Okay, cool. And that's something we're downloading off of Steam, so yep, we'll see how that goes. I'm definitely I didn't think I would play as many computer PC games as I have, except for doing this podcast. I mean, I've done a lot of PC games over the years, but there's been probably not as many like ones where I'm jumping and shooting and that type of stuff. Yeah, I haven't really been much of a PC person myself, but ever since we've been doing this podcast, I've been playing a lot more PC than I thought I would. Yeah, it's fun. Which is good. Yeah, it's fun because you don't really, because prior to this podcast, I never knew of this site, itch.io. I knew it existed. I never knew it existed. So, I mean, it's pretty cool, and it's opened up a whole new world for me as far as games like that. Yeah, it's cool because it lets creators express themselves, and games they can just upload it, and hey, they even get paid through it. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's what we're doing next week. And a quick total right now of podcast downloads that we've had since we've been starting since March. We're actually one podcast download away from hitting the 500 mark. So we saw that and we were pretty excited about that. So, and we've now have at least one download in all 6 major continents. So was pretty exciting for us. We finally had a download in Morocco in Africa, so that was pretty cool. Now, just quickly rattle off the countries that we have. United States, obviously. Germany, France. France, we have a loyal listener in France, which we can't thank you enough for downloading our podcast every week. Thank you very much for doing that. We really appreciate it. And in the United States, we have a loyal listener also, or a couple of loyal listeners in the United States, in Rhode Island, but also in Virginia. We have a loyal listener there in Virginia. So thank you very much for downloading our podcast every week. That's really awesome. We've had downloads in Germany, France, United Kingdom, Ireland, India, Spain, Mexico, Japan, Finland, Australia, Poland, Singapore, Canada, Chile, Austria, Italy, Morocco, Brazil, Peru, Philippines, Argentina, Colombia, and Bangladesh.
And the list can only add on.
Yeah, so hopefully people keep downloading. That's awesome. It's amazing. 24 countries, 6 continents, and it's pretty exciting.
It's exciting for us, and I hope we get you excited to listen to each episode every week.
Yeah, and hopefully we're turning you on to some games that you've never even heard of, and like, hey, I'm gonna try this game.
Either that, or you're on the fence and you need some little knowledge.
Yep. So that is all. So hopefully next week hopefully by today or tomorrow we'll have 500, and we'll put that out there on Twitter once we hit that, and Facebook, and so that'd be awesome. So if there's nothing else, I think that is all for me. Unless you have something else, Mr. K.
No, I'm all set.
Okay.
I think that's the end of today's episode.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. And we hope we'll be talking to you next week. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Peace.
Game over.
Hey, it's Mr. K here. Hope you enjoy the show. You can listen to us more on Spotify, iTunes, and iHeartRadio. And you can also find us at Facebook and Twitter. All right, guys, stay indestructible. Peace.